In life, we study a lot, but when it comes on teaching science, it is more than just acquiring knowledge. In society, there is so much of ideologies, fact, but for implementing education in our real life, we are introduced with project method of teaching science. Hello everyone, I Dipti Yadav and Ankita Sahani are here to discuss about the project method of teaching science. We will be briefing about meaning, some definitions, objective, principles, steps of project methods, some examples, role of teachers, merits and demerits, suggestion to improve into this presentation. But before going on to the definition, we'll understand the concept of project method. It is pupil-centered method which emphasizes on needs, requirements, interest and capabilities of student. Students are active participants wherein their skills and abilities are developed. This method was propounded by W.H. Kilpatrick and was outcome of pragmatic philosophy of John Dewey. This method is based on two important principles. First one is principle of pragmatism, other is learning by doing, where student learns concept by doing practical rather than just acquiring knowledge. This method emphasizes on building a comprehensive unit around an activity which may be carried out in school or outside. Group of students do a purposeful task. According to Kilpatrick, a project is a wholehearted purposeful activity proceeding in a social environment. Ballard said, project is a bit of real life that has been imported into school. Now we'll discuss some objectives of project method. This method helps to work together and show solidarity, help us to recognize each other's need and interest, thus making it easier to take joint decisions. It helps us to self-express ourselves. We are able to present our thoughts and ideas into realities. It develops problem-solving mind, which finds practical solution of problems. If we talk about what are the principles of project methods, then there are 7 principles on which this method works upon. First is principle of purposefulness. A project should be purposeful and have some main objective. This will make student enthusiastic and motivated towards their project. Next is principle of freedom. Students should be free to select the topic and execute the work according to their will and wish, interest, attitude and capacity. Next is principle of utility. The project should be useful to the student and the society. Knowledge is worthwhile only when it is useful in day-to-day life. Principle of activity. Project itself is an activity and students learn while performing it. Principle of reality. Project should be related to real-life situation of the student and the society, where students make use of their scientific learning to add meaning to their lives. They can connect education to the reality. Next is principle of planning. Students plan in advance how the project will be executed. They divide the task, find the solution, how things will perform. Principle of social development. Project should focus on development of social qualities in the students like teamwork, respecting each other's opinion, etc. Now if I ask about how many types of projects are there, Kilpatrick have classified the projects into 4 types. Constructive projects, which focuses on practical and physical tasks like constructing of materials, making of scientific models, like the one which you have made in your childhood, be it solar cell, water cycle, etc. Aesthetic projects, where appreciation powers of the students are developed, like beautification of something. Problem-centered projects resolve the problem and develops the cognitive domain of the student. It develops problem-solving capacity. Then there is drill project. These are the projects which develop skill and knowledge of the student. It increases work efficiency and capacity of the student. Other different types can be individual and social projects. Social projects are the group projects. Other types are simple and complex project. Complex projects, students carry out more than one work at a time. So after learning about principles, types, one could easily anticipate the steps of project method, and they are: first one is providing a situation. Teacher create a situation. How teacher will create a situation? By asking relevant question or making them visit outside the school campus. They provide the environment where students are made curious to think upon some problem or situation. After providing situation, students select a problem after discussing among themselves according to their interest and capacity. Then they prepare a plan to execute the problem by dividing the task among group members. They organize everything in advance. That how, when, what things are to be done. Next step is execution. Students execute the planned project. Each member perform their given task. Teachers just ensure to set time limit, regularly check the progress and supervise accordingly. After execution, students evaluate their own projects on their own. They assess themselves and check whether the objective of the project is achieved or not. Last step is recording and summarizing the all above 5 steps into their files and present this into the class and to the teacher. Let's discuss some of the examples of project methods. You remember participating in science fair, making your own models? Learning was so fun and interesting. We made scientific models to illustrate our ideas, be it displaying water cycle, biogas plant, biosensors, volcanic eruptions. I remember we made water level indicator buzzer for overhead tanks in our home. Learning was so fascinating at that time that I remember that moment till now. Few other examples of project method can be establishing physical and science laboratory, improvising apparatus for performing experiments, establishing science museum. What do you think about the role of teacher should be? Teacher have a major and crucial role in project method of teaching science. A teacher should provide guidance and prompting. She should provide encouragement and motivation to the student, anticipate the difficulties and suggest the remedies, provide extra resources to refer to beat books, PDF, etc. Save the students from floundering and doing mistakes. The climate in the classroom is conducive wherein flexibility is there. Teacher and students jointly explore the different aspects of problems. The role of teacher is to create a problematic situation, have materials and resources available to the students, and help them to identify issues, state hypotheses, clarify and test hypotheses, and draw conclusions. Now, when I talk about merits of project method, then it could be, it promotes cooperation and social interaction among the students. It provides scope for independent work and individual development. It promotes habits of critical thinking and encourages the student to adopt problem-solving methods. Children are active participants in the learning task. Help in acquiring skills like observation, reference, interpretation skills. It develops the scientific attitude, encourages practical application of this subject, and prevent them from rote memorization. Some of the demerits of project method are overconsumption of time. It sometimes consumes our time. It takes longer time than expected. Therefore, it is not possible to fit this into our time schedule. We can use this frequently, but we cannot use them regularly for our syllabus. Whole syllabus for the higher classes cannot be accomplished. Sometimes teaching is disorganized and it is not happen in a systematic manner. Textbook and instruction materials are hardly available for this method. Method is sometimes expensive and costly. Students will have to bear the expenses of lot of materials like traveling, outdoor activities, buying the scientific materials. Sometimes parents don't allow their children for this kind of studies, for the project method of studies. It cannot be planned. Project method cannot be planned for all the subjects. So if we talk about the suggestions to improve this method, then it could be topics should have some educational values. Project should be selected according to the student's interest. Entire course should not be planned only using this method. Objective of this project must be clear and defined. Students should be assigned various duties according to their capabilities. Thank you.